So probably to conclude playing about with this Simon game, I just thought I'd implement some of the suggestions some of the people who've commented have made. When you import something, you can do an as to give it an alias. It was one Mad Gypsy who said that it doesn't have to be Explorer every time. Now for me, Explorer is clear. I think we were using display for the other display that Pimoroni had, and we could interchange display for that, and that was how we could change the code to different platforms. So instead of doing Explorer, let's do Exp. So let's replace all of it. I've got to put that one back, play it again. Really, it's made no difference for it, but when I'm typing things, I only now have to type EXP as opposed to Explorer. So that's a little concept there. That's not really changed the code. The code is still running exactly the same way. Now, something else that I did, which I really wasn't happy with at the time, was when I was working out these values for half a width. And I actually put, because I recorded the video 2 back to back, and then somebody said I can use an integer division instead of doing the normal divide there and then turning it into an int. So I think I put a title over my second video, but I think we can change it by just doing that instead. So that does a integer division, so it goes down to the nearest integer, is I think what someone said it was. So hopefully that would work. Let's just search for some more of those. Let's search for int. I mean, the thing with these is that's a right way of doing it, but using int for me was readable and I could understand what it was doing, but that is a better way of doing it. So let's do it that way. So let's just check that works. Possibly I'll have forgotten a trailing bracket somewhere, but no. Okay, so that works better. So that's another little improvement. Now, the one thing that really bugged me, just because I couldn't remember how to do this at all, because there's different formats in different languages, was this I++. I couldn't remember the format of it. If I do I+1 instead, plus equals 1, that should work. Some of these I think I tried, but because sometimes this Explorer crashes, I didn't think it worked. Let's just stop that and try it again. Yeah, and that still works as well. So that was another one. Yeah, so that all seems to be working. Another one was the tone. I set the tone terribly high to turn the tone off, but my first guess at it was to use -1. But for some reason, again, I think when I tried -1, it didn't turn it off like that as well. So that would turn that tone off. So let's try again. Check it works. That's it, and the tone stops at the end of it, so -1 for tone. That works as well. So I think that's all I'm going to do here, because all of this is clear to me. I know there's better ways that I can do this, especially this if else. I think a user called MP said about doing this on one line. That's probably a good idea. I wanted to add something extra to that. So you're seeing this monstrosity here, and what I wanted to do was make some LEDs work. So I've wired these up so that they all share ground, and then each of the other connections to the LEDs go to some of the GP pins. You might have noticed that I'd got these LEDs set up here, so I've defined those LEDs, and one of the things that I wanted to do is make the LEDs work the same way as these light up as well. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, that's why I've just left a little gap here. So let's on this block A, I'm just going to do LED A on and LED A off. I think that's the syntax, and I'm going to repeat that for the others. All right, so that's got all of those set up. So what I'm hoping now is if I just run this as it stands, as these light up as it's going round, the real LED should light up as well. Let's try that. Okay, so that seems to work perfectly, and it's matched to those, and when you're playing the game as well, it should work exactly the same way. All right, so that's probably it then for my Simon game. I think I've done what I intended to, which was to create a Simon game on the Picoexplorer in any way that I knew how. Some suggestions that I've implemented in that people have made. There's other suggestions that I don't understand how I'm told how to implement it, but maybe that's for other people to explore as well. So Simon Game in MicroPython on the Pimoroni Picoexplorer. I've got one last idea that I might do with it, but I don't know whether I can get it to work or not. Again, something to do with the hardware as well, but we'll see what happens.